think this album for me, unlike the last album, say Hounds of Love, where I saw that as two sides, one side being conceptual, this album is very much like short stories for me. 10 short stories that are just saying something different in each one. And it was a bit like trying to paint the pictures accordingly. Each song has a different personality, and so they each need a little bit of something here, a little bit of that there. Just like people, you know, some people you can't walk up to because you know they're a bit edgy first thing in the morning, so you have to come up sideways to them, you know. And it's kind of like how the songs are too. They have their own little personalities, and if it doesn't want you to do it, it won't let you. I do think it's a very big self-therapy thing. The more I work on an album, the more I think it's actually almost a process for me to try and heal myself, have a look at myself. I feel this is probably my most female album as well, in that I've explored female energies in myself as a writer-producer, that before I've really just done what I've seen all the guys doing, because really everything I've learned in the music industry about making records has been from men. And it occurred to me more in hindsight than at the time that a lot of what I was doing was very male influenced, and I just wanted to try and find a female energy for myself. Not that there's anything negative about male energy in music, because it's great, you know. I just was looking for a female approach, I guess. We wanted to make the video for the Sensual world as simple as possible, in that so many videos now are overloaded with effects, big sets, they look expensive. So what we wanted to do was just keep it in one set, one environment, and depict what, for me, the song The Sensual World is about, which is the sensuality of this planet, the weather, the elemental changes, being able to reach out and touch, the sound of the wind, all these wonderful things that we are surrounded by. Nature is very important to me as an inspiration. It's very important for me to be able to just look at intense pieces of landscape. And throughout history, people have always gained inspiration from the sea, from mountains, from the sky. It's what we sort of strive for, really, isn't it? You know, nature is perfect. God made the world in absolute perfection, and anything that a human being does can never really be perfect. The discovery of music personally for me came when one day my father took me into the piano and showed me the scale of C on the keyboard, and I couldn't believe that this was how it worked, that it was so logical, that there was actually a plan to the keyboard that was so easy to see. It was like playing one finger on the notes and then singing that tune, and then gradually I got to understand about chords Now, once I hit chords, that was really it. You know, this was the most exciting thing in my life, a chord. My family are very musical, and as long as I can remember, there was always music playing in the house. It surprises me even now when I look back at the amount of time that I was putting in, that, as you say, I was dedicated. And I would think it was extraordinary looking back on it now, if it wasn't for the fact that at the time, I just felt so strongly that this was what I had to do. It was like, it almost felt like a mission to me, that this was why I was here, this was what I had to do. I had to make an album. And that was it, you know. I didn't want to be famous, I didn't want to make lots of money, I didn't want to be successful, but I desperately wanted to make an album that I hoped people would like to hear. So all my energy was going into that. Even the dancing was tied in really with just trying to allow myself to grow a bit, to be able to express myself. And I also think if I hadn't put in those 2 years of dance training, I don't think I could have coped with anything after that point, because the discipline and the humility that it taught me is something I think I'm still gaining a tremendous amount from. When I actually left school and I was training